Welcome everyone to this edition of the Vastari Keep Calm and Carry On series of webinars. I'm really delighted to be here again with you today and with such amazing speakers on a subject that's really a hot topic right now. It's quite funny because actually we scheduled these talks back in December based on how tough 2020 was for our industry in terms of exhibitions, museums, artists. Everyone had a pretty tough and difficult year. And we thought, what are the things that we really think are inspiring us, and what do we feel is helping us to keep calm and carry on? And we scheduled this talk about NFTs before Christie's decided to sell one, before we found out that all of these works are starting to sell even more. But I think you could probably already tell in December that something was happening because the volume of transactions was increasing so significantly. Just so that you know what our structure is for today, we will be respecting your time and finishing at the end of the hour, but we will have brief introductions from each of our panelists, and then we will open up the floor to questions and then close with a final question. So without further ado, I think we'll start the webinar. Also, one last comment is that we are recording this webinar today, and it will be available on the Vastari portal afterwards. So we'll be sharing a link at the end of the call with a way to register to the portal for free and see the webinar recording. All right. So, are NFTs the future of digital art? That is the question we asked ourselves for this panel. And one of the questions is really, how are these works going to be exhibited? What is the meaning of a non-fungible token to the artist, to the collector, to a museum who potentially would like to exhibit it, and to the community who cares about art history and all of the different things that are going on today? So our panelists today are not only experts on non-fungible tokens and the blockchain, but also have been working in the art industry for years. I really am delighted to have them because it's not only going to be a discussion about how exciting NFTs are, but also about what it means for the wider art context. Without further ado, let's have our first introduction from Jason Bailey of Artnome.
Sure, yeah, if we could pull up the slides. So while we're pulling up the slides, thanks to Bernadine and Vastari for having me. Amazing job predicting that NFTs would blow up, Bernadine. I think maybe you caused this, so it might be your fault. You put out this announcement and now everyone cares. I'm gonna try to be quick, which I'm not always great at. I think I've got 5 minutes to introduce myself and give the entire history of NFTs. So I'm Jason Bailey. I'm an art and tech writer, founder of Artnome.com. I have an undergraduate degree in studio art and art history from the late 90s because I'm an old man. I went back and got an MFA in digital art and have worked about 20 years in tech in the last 10 years, mostly focused around companies that deal with AI, ML, and databases, things like that. So if we go to the next slide. So where did all of this start? It actually starts with a frog named Pepe in 2016. So Pepe has some bad connotations right now. A lot of people think of him as being associated with the alt-right, at least in the United States. But you have to kind of think of him almost like Mickey Mouse. Like if the alt-right took over Mickey Mouse, it wouldn't erase the history of everything that Mickey Mouse was prior. So back in 2016, if we go to the next slide, there were a group of people that had sort of this meme, right? This idea that Pepe could mean anything and would travel around the internet. And the joke was that Pepe was rare, that each of these memes was kind of rare, which is intentionally meant to be absurd because everyone can see it. And the whole point of a meme is that it spreads. But based on the premise of Bitcoin and blockchain, right around that time, we were seeing that you could have a digital currency that had no physical representation. And you could prove using the blockchain that it was ownable, sellable, tradable. And they transferred those same concepts that were being used around Bitcoin and cryptocurrency over into images. So this rare Pepe wallet was created by Joe Looney, who I generally credit as being sort of the father of the NFT movement. And anyone could make anything they wanted. They weren't there to try to tell you like this one's not good or this one is good. They took no percentage from the sales, and it started as a joke and it became huge back in late 2017. These started selling for a bunch. So if we go to the next slide. Also in 2017, Matt and John of CryptoPunks fame put out the CryptoPunks on the Ethereum blockchain. So rare Pepes were put out on the Bitcoin blockchain. And this project, again, these were pioneers. There was no such thing as an NFT. They put out 10,000 of these, gave like 90% of them away. A bunch of them got snagged up, and immediately a market emerged where people started selling them for tens of dollars, then hundreds of dollars, then thousands, and we'll get to where